welcome to Prudent Media. My name is Sachin Chatte and on this program we take a look at the latest releases. Today we will take a look at the action comedy Novocain and the John Abraham thriller The Diplomat. First, let's take a look at The Diplomat. The Diplomat offers a refreshing take on the adaptation of true stories in Hindi cinema. True narratives inherently possess dramatic elements, but the challenge lies in their effective translation to the screen. I am happy to note that Shivam Nair, who is not widely recognized as a prolific director in Hindi cinema, his last name was Naam Shabana back in 2017, now he has successfully delivered a compelling product in the form of The Diplomat. This film is a tightly woven thriller that generates intrigue and maintains viewer engagement throughout its duration. Fortunately, it avoids the pitfalls of melodrama and the typical song and dance sequences that often plague many Bollywood films. It is also refreshing to see John Abraham showcase his acting range through facial expressions rather than merely relying on flexing his muscles. Following his role in Veda last year, he once again portrays a character who rescues a woman in distress, this time taking on the lead role of J.P. Singh, the Deputy High Commissioner in Pakistan. Ritesh Shah's screenplay effectively adapts the real-life story of Uzma Ahmed, an Indian national who was forced to stay in Pakistan. The film begins with an extensive disclaimer before transitioning to a visually stunning region of Pakistan where a woman in a burqa is escorted by two men. This woman, identified as Uzma, played by Saadia Khatib, is accompanied by her husband Tahir, played by Jagjit Sandhu. Their journey leads them to the Indian embassy where an unsettling atmosphere suggests that not everything is as it seems. Now, seizing her first chance, Uzma alerts the Indian authorities, seeking protection from her husband, and successfully gains entry into the embassy. Initially, the Indian officials are wary of her intentions, but it soon becomes apparent that her husband has subjected her to torture and confinement. Although she is an Indian citizen, she was received into marriage by Tahir. The film explores the diplomatic efforts and management of the situation by J.P. Singh. As indicated in the post-credits, Uzma was under refuge for 20 days in the Indian embassy before returning across the Wagah border, where she was greeted by Sushma Swaraj, played by Revie in the movie, who was then the foreign minister, and Sushma Swaraj of course provided her support throughout her challenging experience. Being a cinematic work, the film incorporates several dramatic subplots and supporting characters. Uzma is compelled to appear in court, which causes her considerable discomfort because of her traumatic experiences. She is effectively assisted by her lawyer Saeed, played by Kumud Mishra. His portrayal as a compassionate individual highlights that not everyone in Pakistan is an evil person. Additionally, Indian officials at the embassy, portrayed by Sharif Hashmi and others, contribute to the narrative's dynamism. Given that the film is entirely set in Pakistan, it refrains from sensationalism and does not engage in overt nationalism. Yes, there is a dose of patriotism, but it is well measured. While it critiques the ISI and the local system, it does so with a sense of dignity. The antagonists include Tahir, his group of thugs, and the ISI, yet the film addresses the ISI with diplomacy and tact rather than aggression or bravado. On the downside, some flashback sequences could have been tighter. The film is most effective in the present timeline, particularly when John Abraham's character is featured. The actor delivers an outstanding performance as a multifaceted character, occasionally vulnerable but mostly confident. He successfully displays a range of emotions. Saadia Khatib also handles her emotionally charged scenes commendably. The supporting cast, including Kumud Mishra, Sharif Hashmi and Jagjit Sandhu, fit into their respective roles quite well. Effectively, with some competent filmmaking, The Diplomat ticks a lot of right boxes, including a few unexpected ones as well. I'm going to go with 3.5 out of 5 stars for the new John Abraham thriller called The Diplomat. And now let's take a look at Novocain. As an action comedy, Novocain is like a superhero film, but without the typical burdens associated with them, making it superior to many in that genre. In this film, Nathan Cain, played by Jack Quaid, also known as Novocain, is not on a mission to save the world. Rather, his aim is to rescue his newfound love from the villains. Directed by the duo of Dan Burke and Robert Olson, the film adopts a straightforward approach. It recognizes its limitations, opting for a storyline that remains grounded, achieving success within those confines. The film features a significant amount of action, blending elements of both humor and gore, all intended to entertain. When we first meet Nathan, he is an ordinary assistant bank manager grappling with an unusual condition. Similar to the Mard in Vasan Bala's Mard Ko Dard Nahi Hota, Nathan suffers from congenital insensitivity to pain, CIP, meaning he just cannot feel pain. For instance, he could be punched in the face without experiencing any discomfort, and the same applies to a hot cup of coffee spilling on his hand, and that actually happens during a conversation with his colleague Sherry, played by Amber Mid-Thunder, as he shares details about his unique situation while they develop a connection. He has never experienced the taste of a pie and avoids solid foods for fear of accidentally biting his tongue off. Additionally, he relies on an alarm to remind him to empty his bladder, as he might not realize when it is full. Up to this point, the film functions as a charming romantic comedy, but it is evident that a shift in tone is imminent. Nathan is characterized as an empathic individual, a kind-hearted man who strives to assist those in distress, a challenging endeavor given his profession as a banker. As his romantic relationship begins to blossom, the narrative takes a dramatic turn when robbers storm the bank, taking Sherry hostage. This incident also casts a suspicion on Nathan himself because he was there at the crime scene. Having discovered a transformative love, Nathan is determined to apprehend the robbers and rescue Sherry. This quest entails enduring significant physical hardship, which he willingly accepts, while also devising strategies to outsmart his adversaries. That includes a hand-to-hand confrontation in a kitchen and navigating various traps within the villain's lair. Although he may not experience physical pain, the emotional turmoil stemming from Sherry's abduction is palpable. It is all rounded off nicely as Nathan realizes he cannot face this challenge alone and receives assistance from an unexpected ally. Roscoe, a gaming companion he has never met in real life, comes to Nathan's aid during critical moments, providing both support and comic relief. While the screenplay encounters a few minor issues, they are handled with skill, ensuring they do not detract from the overall experience. The tone remains light-hearted throughout, and Nathan, now embodying a new persona, never feels out of place as the tough guy. Jack Quaid, who recently appeared in Companion in a different role, effectively essays his character, very well complemented by Amber Mid-Thunder's performance as well. The film features a twist reminiscent of Bollywood storytelling, and the climax may feel somewhat prolonged. First it is at a hideout, then in the ambulance, and finally at the seaport, by which point the audience has already witnessed a great deal of action. Nevertheless, despite these minor flaws, Novocain remains an enjoyable film. I'm going to go with 3.5 out of 5 stars for Novocain as well. It's an enjoyable action comedy film. Well, that's what I thought of the two films released this week. Do let us know what you think, and I'll be back with you next week with more movie reviews. Till then, it's goodbye from me.